It's been my pleasure to connect with you all over this session. And I'll be starting this now. And after the session, I'll be happy to take all your Q&A. And even if you have anything or if you need more resources, I'll be happy to share whatever I could do that can be beneficial for you. I'll be happy to do that. So I'll just start with the session right now. Yeah, so already you would have you would know about Forge because previously some of my colleagues have already taken a session on incubation and programs organized, conducted by Forge. So Forge basically, we position ourselves as partner incubator to government and industry, to corporates, to collaborate with innovators and startups. Basically to harness the potential of innovation, vertically integrated incubation capacity covering industrial innovation labs, knowledge, financial resources, and program capabilities, and the network partners. So what we basically do is our main motto and goal is to connect startups and innovators to government and industrial partners, which will be a win-win situation for both the parties. You know, when startups would be in need of market access and pilot orders, which the corporates can provide. On the other hand, innovation is a painstaking problem for corporates, considering the large corporate culture and the sector that they try to harness. Startups can quickly pivot the product and they can bring it, the timeline that is taken from prototype to product would be very less. So we try to address these gaps by collaborating the government, corporate, and innovators by being the bridge, acting as a partner incubator for all these stakeholders. So these are some of our clientele, and we are vertically integrated incubator, which means we have all the infrastructure capabilities and capacities that to provide a 360-degree incubation infrastructure facilities and resource connects to startups. So we have innovation labs of 40 crore plus value, and we have national scale market access. We have been partner incubator to MHRD through IDEX program, to Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology by partnering with them for TIE 2.0 funding scheme, also for the Sashakt. Similarly, we have been also partner to MHRD, also to MAUA in the context of Smart Cities mission, where we have created a portal, City Innovation Exchange, where the startups and the problems that the smart cities would face can be hosted, where the startups can directly apply. So that portal will scale, and we will be launching it as a full-fledged acceleration program similar to IDEX. So these are the infrastructure facilities that we offer to all these startups. That includes the office space, which we call it as co-working facilities, the seating facilities, meeting rooms, and other innovation COEs refers to the Center of Excellence and Technology Labs. So to start with our physical infrastructure summary. So we currently have one main head office in Coimbatore, and I'm happy to share news that we would be expanding to 2 additional centers, one in Chennai and one in Hosur. Due to pandemic, it's been delayed. Otherwise, we'd have launched it by, say, May. Now, hopefully, we should be launching it in the month of August, and where for SIPCOT SIC Hosur, and another center in Sriperumbudur by end of October. So I would cover what these centers would cover, how we have come up with additional centers. So we will be the largest private incubator in the next 3 months. So currently the seating capacity would be 1,000. That includes the additional 2 centers also, which means we have currently 500 seating capacity in Coimbatore. And the entire infrastructure facility in Coimbatore is of 20,000 square feet. And in Chennai and Hosur, it would be 25,000 square feet each. So we have, we can concurrently support 75 plus startups with office space. it ranges from 2 members in a team to maximum 10, 15 or 20 members in a team. And we can concurrently support 15 to 25 product innovation across all these centers. So these are some of the photographs of our infrastructure capacity. So these are basically our workspace, work area, and also we conduct a lot of hackathons for students and also for corporates. So these are some of the photographs that we took during such hackathons, hardware hackathons basically. So hardware hackathons we conduct for across 5 days, where we have, so we are one of the partners for MHRD, so we are one of the nodal agencies for conducting Smart India Hardware Hackathon, which spans for 5 days, 24/7, round the clock, where we will be getting participants, at least about 100 to 120 innovators coming here and across India, and day and night hacking for prototype and product development. So this has not the event we couldn't conduct due to pandemic this year and last year, but we had been successful in organizing SIHH event to a massive scale in the year 2018 and 19. So these are some of our event space, the workshop space, space for conducting workshops, hack shops, and also some of the co-working facility space where we offer space for startups to run their day-to-day operations. So this is a very interesting part, the technology infrastructure that Forge currently has and also will be having across the 2 additional centers in Sriperumbudur and Hosur. So the Sriperumbudur Center, which would be amidst the Chennai Automobile Hub, will focus more on future mobility and aerospace and defense, whereas the one going to be in Hosur will have COEs in the areas of factory IoT and advanced manufacturing. As we all are aware that Hosur is the next hub for EVs and everything from Ola, Titan, everything is coming up. So what our base is, we need to give all these resources to startups to help them to fast track their prototype development to product development and quickly reach to market, where if they be amidst these industrial clusters, they can really rapidly, there will be agility in their process by co-creating with these industries, and quickly they can go on to the growth phase. So similarly, technology labs in Forge that covers industrial sensing control, advanced electronics design, AR, VR labs, system test measurement and qualification, advanced test measurement, electronics rapid prototyping, industrial automation, and industrial design protection, and all other workshop tools, workbenches, rest all that is required for prototype development. So we concurrently support student innovators. Also, we support matured to startups that are in product life cycle stage, prototype stage, product stage, and growth stage. And in each of these space, the requirements for startups would be different. So as an incubator, we believe that we need to provide 360-degree support to all, across all these startups at different phases. With that aspiration in mind, we have been very successful in establishing these technology infrastructure, and also the additional centers that's going to come up in Chennai and Hosur will have even much more advanced technology infrastructure. And we have been successful in partnering with some of the corporates who have been who have generously given some CSR funds to establish these advanced technology infrastructure in those centers. So these are some of the glimpses of our technology product innovation that happens in Forge. Yeah, the SIPCOT Industrial Innovation Center, which I was talking about, that we will be coming up in Sriperumbudur, Hosur, in partnership with SIPCOT, State Government of Tamil Nadu. So SIPCOT had sponsored the physical infrastructure, that is the land and building has been completely sponsored by SIPCOT, and Forge through Forge, SIPCOT has raised a 24 innovation grant from Tamil Nadu State Innovation Fund, which will be utilized to support in establishing the technological infrastructure in these centers, in addition to the CSR funds that we have already received from corporates. So this is a joint collaboration that it's a massive project. This is the first of its kind, where a private incubator collaborating with the state government, also with corporates, have come up with such a massive industrial innovation center focusing on startup growth, and also this will be seen as a pioneer in the nation. And we believe that in future we will be having much more such industrial innovation centers across Tamil Nadu and across India. So I'll just play a small video which will give you a glimpse of what SIPCOT 4
Nothing. Which one? Motivation rush.
Strategic
Oh,
opportunities.
nice, nice. It's coming from there.
Powered by digital AI and robotics. By combining futuristic technology and future-ready talent, it helps its partners.
Yeah, so this was a brief video which explains about the mission and vision of Fort. That's what has been branded for. Sorry. So this SIPCOT Industrial Innovation Center has been branded as Fort, officially branded as Fort, and this was unveiled by Honorable ex-Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu in the month of February. So this is being called as Force of Rapid Transformation. So that is being branded as Fort, Sri Perumbudur and Hosur. So now coming to incubation facilities that is offered by Fort. As I mentioned, we are vertically integrated incubator, and we provide 360-degree incubation support that starts from innovation activation to product innovation, product acceleration, and business growth. In each of these phases, the requirement for startups would be completely different. At the innovation activation, they would require more resources, lab access, prototyping lab access, and other infrastructure support. Whereas in product innovation phase, they would be looking for product trials. They need corporate access where they can validate, they can test their product, and then during acceleration phase, they need growth and basically market access. So we try to, they need more networking opportunities with government and industry. And in business growth phase, as you know, they would be in need of investments, funds, the start. So we support startups with access to lab, providing co-working space, providing seed fund support at different stages. We offer, of course, prototyping grants, also seed fund, basis the phase of the startup and investments. So these are our corporate clients, government partners, and ecosystem partners of Forge. So now coming to industrial technology and venture accelerator program. So this is our incubation program. Any startup that have to incubated by Forge, it is only through ITWAP. So it is, we call it as industrial technology and venture accelerator program. So we offer a comprehensive suite of, resources, partnerships, boot camps, access to funds, investors, everything. So it varies on depending on the phase of the startup. So basically, this is a 12-month engagement program, and again, it is commercial engagement between us and the startup would be like, we will measure our success when the startup moves to the next phase, and also we try to get whatever the value added services that we have offered through revenue share and success fee. Because we believe that if we make the startup successful, that's when we will be able to generate revenue through them. So we tie that concept very closely. And this is how, so what are the program advantages and what are the services and resources that we offer is something this. Co-creation opportunities with corporate and government sectors. As I said, we have been in touch with many of the corporates, and we have been partner incubator to many government programs, and through that we'll be able to get direct access for startups to engage with these government clients and also the corporate clients, where they can easily get paid trials and pilot orders. So the access to government and to corporates would become easy for them. Similarly, access to industrial grade prototyping lab and pilot production facilities. So one, we offer our lab access, and if they want further, advanced R&D lab where they can directly go to the corporate and test, then we would facilitate that engagement as well. And also Forge has a pool of mentors. Currently we have about 60 to 70 mentors who have been actively engaged with us, and we also have Forge Investments Council, where we have nominated key industry professionals from industry, startup entrepreneurs, seasoned bureaucrats from government to help startups in in investments, and also to give to support them to move to the next phase. So these are the, as part of ITWAP, this is what we offer. One is the market access, product and business acceleration, advanced technology labs, access to talents. So access to talent is very special with Forge, because how we do is we conduct a program called ProtoSem. It is a short form for prototyping semester, where the pre-final year and final year engineering graduate students, and even masters, in some cases master students, would come and spend 6 months, one semester here in Forge, and they take up a real-time problem statement from an industry, or they would support a startup in developing, in building the solution. At the end of this program, so all their course would be mapped with this program. So by end of this, and they don't go to classes, it will be done here in Forge. The classes would be basically all the advanced course classes would be conducted here in Forge, and they would develop the prototype. And if some of the students are interested, they can go for the next phase and they can start building their product. Otherwise, they would just take up a job offer through in some of our incubates in the startups. So this is how we also rope in academia, and we generate a talent pipeline for startups, our incubates basically. Access to so we already have a pool of 65 to 70 startups. In addition, if required, if any startup needs specific mentoring in the area of specific domain expertise, then we would also get in touch with corporates directly, and we'll facilitate that engagement for startups. Access to grants and funds. Forge has been already receiving grants from DST to support startups. So we have been offered Nidhi SSS, we have Nidhi Prayas to support prototyping grants. Also, we have TIDE 2.0 fund, and we are also doing TIDE investments fund. And we have also applied for SISF, Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, and hopefully we would be also receiving that. So all these grants and funds, we give it diligently, and it will be tracked milestone by milestone. We don't offer grants at one tranche. Basically, it will be mapped to the milestones. So if any startup, say for example, they are eligible to get 40 lakh grant, then it will be divided into 3 to 4 tranches, and it will be dispersed only when they achieve certain milestones that is initially accepted by the startup after our review. So this is the engagement that we closely follow. This will be done on quarterly basis, often like quarterly basis. But in case of the startup have progressed really very fast, then they would just come back to us that we have achieved this, and now we are just moving for the next phase. So then we would be releasing the grant. So the grant management process is something that we have very sophisticated. Like, it's not just about dispersing the fund, whereas we tie it to the milestone achievements. That is, in case if it is a prototype grant, they need to go for product development phase. I mean, they need to show progress towards going towards the product development phase. And if they are a product development, then they need to show indicators of going towards market access, pilot orders, taking pilot orders. So if each and every milestone would be drafted, reviewed by our program team, and only then we will be releasing the funds. So this is the process that we follow diligently, and I'm happy to share, in case if you are also looking how do we do after the session. I'll take your FAQs, and if you need any resources or anything, I'll be happy to share. So some of our ecosystem partners, like we have engaged with some of this SaaS softwares, and also our legal partners. These having engagement with these as part of ITWAP, we also provide services through these partners. So basically, if any startup which takes a ITWAP program, they get a free subscription from Zoho for 1 year. And similarly with Freshworks. And LexOrbis and LexStart are legal partners, whereas LexStart is, we have also engaged with LexStart directly, and they would, support our startups with subsidized fee for all their startup requirements, legal requirements. So these are our portfolio of startups, that is through ITWAP and through other programs. So currently we have 29 startups on product stage and 69 startups on market stage, 2 on growth stage. So these are some of the metrics that total funds so far raised by startups through external investments. Yeah, so we have Nidhi Prayas. We have been partnered with Nidhi Prayas, Sashakt under MeitY, IDEX. Vedanta Spark is a global accelerator program launched by Vedanta, and Forge is the partner incubator. And this is a sector-wise portfolio of startups. Sorry, there is an error with formatting. So this is 11 startups in aerospace and defense, 28 smart factories, 10 infrastructure and transport, 13 in smart cities and home. Yeah. So some of the metrics, the number of startups incubated at when we say startups incubated at different stages across our programs. So that touches about 100 startups in the last 3 years. So that has when number of startups that have graduated, which means a startup which has moved from one phase to another. We have about 69 startups that have progressed to the next phase. So average time period of incubation ranges from 12 to 18 months in general, and beyond that, it's so far it's like on an average 12 to 18 months. And as of 31/3/2021, the total funds dispersed directly by Forge is about 2.7 crores. And so the key point is how Forge is driving investments into startups through our strategic partners. So we are partnered with Vedanta. So initially they didn't have an idea of investing in startups. So after engaging with them, after consulting, so we took entire responsibility of outreach and selection of startups. Now we have come up with top 23 startups for Vedanta, which can actually benefit through investments from Vedanta, and Vedanta has promised for 100 crores investment across 40 startups. So this is something that we are proud of, and we will be doing it more to support all these startups through corporate acceleration program. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ramya.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to answer any of questions that anyone may have.
Sure.
Sure.
So do you want to convey in in 2-3 minutes on like how a new incubator can plan their facilities and administration? I mean, for people who want to set up a new incubator, like we have few audience from that space.
So initially, like here, when we have set up, so this we have located in KCT Tech Park. This is a full-fledged tech park, and we have taken a floor. So our host institution is basically Kumaraguru College of Technology, KCT. So it's an extended hat. So we get most of the support from institution itself, and you would be also receiving. So initially, to bring down the cost, most of the cost will have to be covered by the institution. To take care of operations, you might require one manager and 1 or 2 support associates or leads. The main part for incubator is to have good and clean records of accounting and managing funds properly. So that is very important thing. Because we receive being a Section 8 company, we need to keep track of all the funds. Whenever you receive a grant from as of now, we receive grants from different sources, and we need to maintain separate bank accounts, tracking interest rates. Everything has to be done diligently. And if you have any queries on that front, because I have also personally gone through a lot of challenges. Every time a new account to be opened, then that needs to be tracked, and we need to maintain separate books of records, especially the cost expenditure booking part, right? At a stretch, we will be having multiple programs for different partners will be going on at the same time, and we need to make sure that each expense is tracked properly, accounted properly under specific program heads. So that is something which is a little bit challenging, but over a period of time we have streamlined. In last 2.5 to 3 years I've been working here, we also faced challenges initially, then we have overcome that, and today we are able to, we are in a position to expand to additional 2 centers where that can be also managed and tracked from here.
Thanks, Ramya. Can you also share little information on the processes that facilities team should take care of, or like some standards of practices like that you have established over years?
Sure. Okay, because as an incubator, you might not have a standard set of footfall, which means like any other company, okay, today there'll be like 200 heads would be coming and going out. Here it's not the case, because you will have innovators coming in, going out, then so many corporate connects. As we have a lot of startup, we have about in a normal day, now nobody is here due to pandemic, but otherwise we will be having 40 to 50 startups working out of here. Their client would come, their resources, their employees, there will be many people. It's very important to have a proper access cards to be provided to them diligently, and we need to monitor at the entrance access cards to be given, and that needs to be taken care. Who is coming out, who is going out. You can also have softwares. We also had initially, but we have been not using for the last 2 years because the footfall has fallen largely, and due to pandemic, otherwise normally here in Coimbatore on a daily basis we would be having 200 to 250 footfall, and if it's hackathon or some other event, then it'll be like it'll touch at least 350 or so, and it'll be completely crowded. So you should, here to manage, we have a separate operations team, but to start with, you can have a finance and operations combined team for a new incubator who can manage finance part majorly, and who can also support in operations, handling operations, overseeing operations basically.
Thanks, Ramya. If it's a new incubator and it's being supported by government schemes, like any timeline or like from your experiences, what should be the time frame to set up their new infrastructure or co-working space or additional improvements that they want to do it for infrastructure?
You mean the requirement that coming from the
yeah, some government schemes need a specific set of infrastructure, or
you also have, and all.
Yeah, you also have different prototyping labs. So yes. any some brief on like what it takes to set up those and like to manage those?
Okay, so with respect to lab, if you have vast, if you have vast lab, I would say you have to have a lab manager or technical lab manager, because when you have students coming in and using these equipment, it's not very safe. So it's good to have a good technical lab manager who can take care of the entire facilities and also lab. So that is something. And on an average, like for us in Coimbatore, we expanded phase by phase. So initially till 2017, we had 10,000 square feet. And so it took about, say what, initially it took long period, so 7 to 8 months to set up. So we went on phase by phase. I will also suggest for any new incubator also to go phase on phase. Like initially you can start with 3,000 or 5,000 square feet space as required. In some case they'll be asking for minimum 10,000 square feet. So if that is the case, you can first go with 10,000 square feet space, and once you have established everything, so that itself will take about, say, what, 6 months to 7 months. Once you scale, once you reach the optimum utilization for that space, then you can go and expand, say, for another 5,000 or 10,000 square feet, depending on the requirement and the grant that you're receiving. So on an average, to set up lab infrastructure, it shouldn't take more than 3 months, is more than enough.
Thanks, Ramya. Dear participants, we have the floor open for questions. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can put in chat boxes. I hope it was all clear. So Ramya, like when if it's a co-working space,
I have one
like, sure. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, like, if...
Sorry, once again, your name, sir?
Ma'am, my name is Swasti, and I am from INFED IIM Nagpur.
Okay, hi, Swati. Please
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
me.
So, ma'am, as our incubator is still at a very nascent stage right now, so as you mentioned that, what steps can be taken, or like how would we able to build our corporate relationships, like as you said, for corporate acceleration programs that you had. So how to build, or if you could recommend any institutions which provide accelerator programs for incubators.
No, see, you have to get, you have to reach out to them. And first of all, before that in hand, so see, even if we initially used to go to corporates, we cannot go empty handed, right? We need to first analyze what the corporates are looking for, right? We need to analyze that first. So what we do is, okay, if we, for example, if we take Schneider Electric, right? We try to go and analyze the corporate first, which means what are their current innovation, or what is their current strategy, what are they looking for basically. If they are looking for something like, okay, these are the areas where, often you can just, if you go to any of the corporate website, you would know where they will host challenge statements, most like Tata Advanced System and everything, everybody is doing that. So what you need to do is, you need to first strengthen your startup pipeline. So that is very important. And once you have strengthened the pipeline, then you can go to the startups. Otherwise, if you do it in a reverse order, it's not going to work, in my opinion. And that's how we have also built our approach. So when we go to corporates, we analyze what exactly the corporate is looking for. Are they looking for investment? Are they looking for co-creation? Are they which type of technology they are interested in? Right? So we need to understand that, we need to collect data for that, and then we will say, okay, here we have 10, like 15, like 25 startups which are working in specific challenge areas that you are also looking for. Then why don't you look at these startups, and why don't you co-create? Even in case of Vedanta or any other corporate accelerator program that we had the same approach, right? We try to first identify what is their challenge area, what is the specific corporate challenge area, and to that requirement, how can we support through startups, is what is our strategies basically. And we try to map these two things. When we go with certain analytics, insights and recommendation, then of course any corporate would take a look at you. Have I answered your question? Do you have any further clarification? Just let me know.
No, ma'am.
So is this fine?
Thanks, Ramya. We have one more question on chat.
Yes.
I'm just reading it out. How to attract and retain prospective students to stick on to startup rather after their job? I mean, more of pre-incubation support.
How to attract and retain prospective students to stick on startup rather they after the jobs? And just like they're asking if they will quit their own startups after pre-incubation. Is that the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello. You are right. No.
Yeah.
So
I'll
what
tell
they
you
will,
one.
yeah,
I'll
they'll
just
continue for till the 5th year. I mean 4th year.
Mm,
The moment they get into the placements,
mm.
all the efforts gone.
See, this happens even like we cannot change that mindset, to be frank, Harsha. So what we see this as a future pipeline, right? Definitely, because what we have seeded in these student innovators is something like hunger for innovation. Of course, they will go for placements, they will go for corporates, no doubt about it. Even in our case, it happens. If there are say 60 students, probably 5 would turn up for startups in after their college. Rest all would go for maybe they would take up a job in a startup, which is also beneficial for us, because we try to help them to get a job in our incubating within our incubates, right, in the startup companies. That's one. And second thing is like we are building, so we have a long term vision, right? Definitely these students will have this hunger for startup after 5 to 6 years, right? They would definitely turn up uh, to to become an entrepreneur and to start their own startup, right? So because they understand the tools, they at the very young age, especially specifically if I have to mention, some of the students who have gone through Protosem, they're exceptionally well. They get really good placement edge or advantage over other students. Definitely yes, and they are doing really well. So we have currently we are running 8th batch of Protosem so far. Like 6 to 7 batches have passed on. And so when we even launched Protosem, we know that this is a long-term investment, right? On a short-term perspective, yeah, we can help startups to get potential tech talent who can support the startups in prototype and product development. But over a long-term vision, where we believe that these students would come up as startups, in many cases they have come up as mentors for the Protosem students. So anyway, we try to keep them engaged. We have the Alumni Connect where they themselves come, they will have joined corporates, they themselves will come, they take classes for Protosem. So this happens, and whenever in the future they want to start a startup, they would definitely look up to Forge because they had already a connection with us, right? So we see this as a long-term investment, to answer your question.
Thanks, Ramya. So could you please share your email ID in the chat so that people can reach out to you?
Sure. Yeah, I've shared. This is my mail ID. So
Uh,
Hi, I have a quick question. If I can go ahead next, please.
sure, Carl. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Ramya. This is Carl. I don't know if you remember, but we have met.
hey, hi Carl. Yeah, I remember you. Yes, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you. Good to hear your presentation as well. Thank you so much for that. I have a few quick questions, if I can ask, please. So first is, what is the percentage of funding for your labs, and what are the sources from, say, the government, the corporate, the host organization, and maybe if there are other sources? If you can just give me the percentage of, because these are expensive, right? So it's not a joke to get them, especially in the hardware space. So
sure. So with respect to the Coimbatore Center, all the capex has been funded through DST funds and also by our host institution, right? We don't because whatever revenue or sources of income through various programs we generate, that is only will fund the OPEX part, right? CapEx will have to be funded through either our host institution or any other government scheme. So even in SIPCOT, if you see, the technical infrastructure has been funded through a grant that SIPCOT has raised through Forge. I mean, we did pitch on behalf of SIPCOT to Tamil Nadu State Innovation Fund, and we have received 19.2 crores as a grant to establish technology infrastructure in SIPCOT, the SIIC centers, right? So to answer your question, the major source of funds for CapEx will be always through government or CSR funds,
okay, so
and our host institution.
Okay. So CSR funds is it's interesting because they don't always do that. At least in my experience, it's been an extension of the marketing wing. I mean, that's the way at least corporates see that, depending on how it is budgeted at.
Of
So-
course, it is based on the value that you're creating and offering, right? In turn, what happens is like the startups that who will come and work here out of Forge, I mean, who will use Forge laboratories, technical infrastructure, is someone who, again, to which the corporate is going to get benefited, right? For SIPCOT centers, we have received CSR funding from some of the corporates to establish technical infrastructure. Of course, that was direct. MD SIPCOT directly appealed to the heads of these corporates, and we received some of the funding. So it will be like, if I ask, like the technology infrastructure for both these centers would be like 14 crores. So totally like 10% we have received from CSR funds, rest all will be funded through TANI scheme, right? But there is a contribution. There is now sources are opening up, and we have also had a strategic partners, technology partners. So we don't treat our, technology providers as vendors, rather we treat them as strategic partners. So what happened is, like, even for SIPCOT Center, some of our technology partners said, okay, I mean, to be honest and frank, there was a tender process done by SIPCOT, and we roped in all the technical suppliers, basically the technology suppliers. Say for 20, actually the asset value would be 20 crore in total, but we have been through the strategic engagement model with the suppliers, we have been able to get it at 10 crore. So it's a 2x value.
Got it. Okay. So you
So we
work
make
with
sure that whoever is involved, whichever stakeholder is involved in this particular project, is benefited out of this particular project.
Sorry to interrupt, Carl. So we are left with last 10 minutes. So we want to be more productive from the session. So we are expecting people to network and talk to each other. So I'm just opening out breakout rooms, and you can discuss in that and chat with each other. Thank you so much, Ramya, for the presentation. I mean, if any further questions,
Thank you.
I'll route through.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.